Today we're going to look at mini DV cameras. Now there are lots of different models of DV camera available to you from the equipment store. However, they all function in the same way and have the same standard controls, so they'll just be positioned in different places depending on the model. Now all the DV cameras that we have in the store record to mini DV tapes. Now these little cassette tapes are just like little VHS tapes that you used to get, and they record the footage digitally onto a magnetic strip, and you can record 60 minutes per tape. Now mini DV tapes are an archive format, so you can record onto them once, and after that you just look after them so you can get any footage you've shot at a later date. Now to begin with, we're going to load a tape into a camera. So on the body of the camera you will locate a little switch with open eject written on it, and you'll pull that and the camera will open up. The tape carriage will then extend out of the camera. You can then insert the tape like this. On the carriage there'll be a little button called push. If you press down on that, the carriage will then retract into the camera. When it's finished, you're then able to close the body of the camera. We're now ready to start filming. So when we turn our camera on, there'll be usually a little switch on one side that allows us to turn it on. Now when you turn your camera on, it has two modes of operation. The first is a camera mode, the second is a playback mode that we'll look at later. So when you're in camera mode, make sure that you've removed the lens cap, or open the shutter, lens cover if the camera is fitted with one of them. You're then able to either view the video through the viewfinder, or by opening the screen there we can then view our video at the side. Now these cameras are fully automatic and will work out all the exposure settings for you, so all you have to worry about is framing your image and telling it when to record and when to stop. Now all of these cameras will have a record button at the back of the camera. Pressing this once will start recording, and then pressing again will stop recording. The other control that all the cameras will have is a zoom control, which allows you to zoom into your frame and out of your frame. This will be marked with a W and a T, the W for wide and the T for telescopic. So if we look into our viewfinder there, we can zoom out and we can zoom in. And when we press the record button, it will come up on our screen so that we can tell just by looking at it that it's now recording. And press it once more to stop. Now if we look at our on switch, it has the word mode written there, and if we pull it up onto that, our camera will swap from camera mode to play edit mode. Now some of the cameras will have controls on the body. The Sony models, the screen is a touch screen. So we're now able to rewind through our tape and press play, and we can play back the footage on our tape. We can pause it, fast forward and rewind as you would expect to be able to do, and we can press stop. This allows us to review our footage. Now once you've finished filming your footage, you're now ready to transfer your video onto a computer for editing. We transfer our video using a Firewire cable. There are two types of Firewire cable that you will find depending on what type of computer you're using. They look like this, so they're slightly different in look. Some computers will have both, some will only have one. Both will be supplied in the bag with the camera, so if you can't get it to fit, check for the other one. So once you've connected the Firewire cable to the computer, you will find on the body of the camera, usually underneath a small hatch, a socket, usually labelled DV, and then you can fit a smaller end to the Firewire cable, which is the same on either variety of the cable, and that plugs into the camera. So once you've plugged that in at the other end into the computer, and you've turned the camera onto VCR mode, you're then ready to start your video editing software to capture the footage off of the camera onto the computer for editing.